I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Fall is coming, and it is back to school. Yeah, making new friends and seeing old ones and starting a new school. Another year into your growing up. Oh, the smell of new bulletproof book bags, practicing shooter drills, and the smell of blood on new school clothes, and oh, the sound of bullets whizzing by. Where'd you think I was going to go? On Wednesday, 4 were killed and 13 were injured in a back-to-school shooting in Georgia. How many is that this year? Oh, today's shooting count, it now puts us over 262. Woo! Yeah, that's mass shootings in one of the most powerful, richest countries in the world. But this happens everywhere, right? I mean, you bet your ass it does in Japan. Every year, there are so many gun deaths. You know, like in America, we have 29 to 32,000 gun deaths every year. Japan, how's about the same? Well, I mean, they have 100 total. Okay, that's an outlier, right? What about Australia? Those Aussies are rootin', tootin', shooting up crocodile killers. So in America, we had 262 mass shootings, and Australia also had 2. Not 200. 2. Okay, that's embarrassing. Let's go to England. You know, they had a shitload of shootings in 2024, right? No, they had 1. 1 in 2024. No. 1 between 1996 and 2024. And we could go down the list of first world country after country after country. And you know what they don't have? Mass shooting and a gun deaths in the thousands. You know what else they don't have? A part of the population that talks about protecting kids from drag queens, liberals, and books, but seem to have zero problems with bullets ripping a hole in a 10th grader in algebra. So, in our current reality, we have a small portion of the country scared of everything, so scared and so weak, they can't face the real world the rest of us live in. They gotta have a pew-pew. They don't have a panic attack. We live in a real world where mass shootings and school shootings are pure Americana, like jazz and type 2 diabetes. The killing of kids at school is such a fucking regular occurrence that now we just see it as normal. Do you know guns are the #1 killer of kids in America? Nowhere else on the planet. We have more gun deaths than any industrialized country. Freedom! So the price of living free is taking away the young lives of those trying to live free. Cool. I'm Christopher Titus, and it's the Armageddon Update. Everybody, Christopher Titus, Titus Podcast. With me, as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
That was nice.
Sounded like the old NBC.
That was awesome. There could be only one. Beep, boom, boom, bing, boom, boom. It's like NBC.
It's like last week's episode.
So, we're back to school shooting. We had a back to school shooting, and that's how you know school's back in, because some kids died. I got to be honest with you.
That's where we started.
Yeah, but I'm to the point now where so it's so funny. That's how it would go. They would get mad at me for talking about it on a podcast. I can't believe you're so heartless. I've been saying, I've done bits for years. I've been doing bits for years about it. I did Arm the Children. I've talked about it. We've done, our first podcast was Jared Loeffner. And at one point you just go, well, I guess we just accept this how America is. And if you guys are all fine with it, all you people on the right seem to be fine with a bunch of kids dying all the time because you're not willing to do shit about it. Fine. Let's just joke about it.
I do just want to go back to that. Our first podcast was Jared Loeffner. And you and we were trying to figure out, we were on the road last week somewhere.
Right.
I'm sure it was great wherever we were. Where were we? Yep. It was awesome.
I'm going to put a voiceover right here.
Nashville and Huntsville, Alabama.
Huntsville.
They were awesome.
Previously on the Titus tour.
Exactly. And we were on the road and you said something about, well, we've been doing the podcast for, I forget what you said. And I was like, no, we've been doing it longer than that. And so you said Jared Loeffner. So we looked it up and.
Because you said like 15 years. I was like, nah, I think it's 11 or 12. Anyway. You said it was.
See what he did there? He made me the one that was wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
Hi, welcome to Marriage with Christopher and Rachel.
Hi.
Do you never want to be right again? Either one of you.
Either one. By the way, if you just want to get married and just actually talk about where you made it wrong and then get to the minutia of the words you use within the sentence that might be a little off, get married.
Then dial this number right here. We'll help you out.
We can coach you through a mild, low-level hatred that you'll live
That's
in
what
for
we
the
do
rest
best.
of your life.
The mild, low-level hatred is our shit, man.
With brief moments of joy,
Ecstasy and joy.
and laughter.
That
and
keep
then
you
back
coming back.
to mild hate.
Low-level hatred.
This is what I have to deal with.
That's a Frank and Shayna.
Mom and Dad are fighting.
That's a Frank and Shayna episode.
Coaching.
Call this
How they
number.
get through. He ain't good looking underneath that jacket. But yeah, Shayna could
She would never say that about Frank. She thinks Frank is a stud muffin. Anyway, so we
Well,
looked
he
it up.
is. That's why Frank been doing it a long time. Frank knows how to make it. Frank knows how to draw little pictures on where he's supposed to draw little pictures.
So, and he gets extra credit on his cognitive test. So we looked it up, and the Jared Loeffner shooting happened on January 8th, 2011.
Wow.
Our first podcast was that week. And that picture of Jared Loeffner never gets easier to look
She
at.
brings it up
I
on the-
just never find
He
that
always
easy.
looks like I'm crazy as shit. Like he didn't do any work at all to look like at least Ted
Oh,
Bundy.
he leaned into
Ted
it.
Bundy put the time in. Ted Bundy's like this.
Yeah, Ted Bundy.
Jonathan's like,
I would have dated Ted Bundy probably.
what
Except
is
he
going
wore
on?
turtlenecks, and I'm not into turtlenecks because my mom always wore them, so maybe I wouldn't.
But he
have
had his
dated
hair.
him.
He had the Greg Brady kind of hair with the flippy and the
At
thing.
that time, that was the thing,
Right.
though.
He had the hot rod
Did
Volkswagen.
you just say I would have dated Ted Bundy?
I just know myself, so I like
He's a
to
bad
be
boy.
self-aware when we're doing this podcast.
then
and
why are
just
you
say-
dating? Why are you married to me?
Well, Ted Bundy
Well-
was charming, apparently, and intelligent, and apparently good-looking for that time. And he would always do the broken leg thing on the side of the road, and you know me, let me help this
The
poor
wounded-
guy who,
yeah, the wounded,
Salvation
animal.
Army. I
this
go.
poor cute guy.
We were driving to court 3 hours away this morning. This is
Yeah.
what we do.
He also tried to be a lawyer, so that's in the legal
Oh,
beagle
see,
thing.
yeah,
There's a
I would
connection.
have been a victim.
That doesn't
for
answer
sure.
why you're married to me.
Yeah, we all know.
Well,
There's a
because
scrolling
you're smart.
reasons.
You're smart and you're funny
You're like,
and you're handsome for your time.
For my time. Knew I was waiting. I know. Yeah.
You're sometimes you've got the wounded, my dad abused me thing going on.
All right. So you're good. All right. Okay.
and you kill each night. Come on.
Yeah, and,
Oh,
and I
he's a
do,
killer.
and I
He's a killer.
murder on that stage. Yes, I do.
So-
I leave bodies. All right
Oh
then.
God. So there
Mostly in Florida.
so there
I'm
was
just gonna
a
go through all the
shooting.
Eminem songs.
And he has been ranting about shootings long before Jared Loeffner, I would say, long before 2011.
I'm not ranting anymore. I'm done. You guys, fine. You know, you guys. Everyone had. There is no argument that works. You have just
No.
decided. There's every argument. I can bust it with this thing. Everyone keeps bringing up that thing I did with Steven Crowder. They'll go, he handed you your ass. No, he didn't. He just kept yelling at me, and then we started yelling at each other. So I there's not a single reason. And we've proven around the world that mass shootings don't have to happen. As I said in the Armageddon update, Japan, guess how many mass shootings Japan had last year?
What
Two.
do they call a
Two.
shooting though? They
Was
probably-
it right? Am I right?
Two.
I was
yeah,
going
it
to
was a
say
guy
one.
actually shoulder chucked somebody on
Yeah,
a
that's a
train.
shooting.
Yeah, it's called a mass shooting.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. There was I guess how many Australia had last year?
One.
0.
Oh.
Guess how many they had in 22?
0.
2.
Duh.
They had 2.
I don't like I don't like this game.
So we have around the world, England, we have, I'm looking up all the countries and I put them in there again. I was stunned. I was like, does anybody come close? Fucking nobody. And you know what? I will say this, and I'm going to say this, and everybody gets all weird about it. Everybody who first of all, it feeds on itself, right?
Mhm.
We have to have guns. Why? Because other people have guns. So I have to have guns to protect myself from the guns.
Mhm.
So everybody has to get guns. So now everybody has guns, which means I have to get more guns. So
Yep.
why? Because everybody has guns. But why does everybody have guns?
Gotta
Because
arm up.
everybody has guns. So I have to get a gun. So it's just this big circle. And I don't walk the world scared shitless. I just don't. I trained in martial arts. I think I'm pretty smart. It's not worth to live to be scared shitless. And I think all these cats covered in tattoos, insurrection goatees, no offense,
Yeah, man.
That's a whole beard.
Yeah,
It's
man.
good. It's
How
good.
do we skip past him calling them cats, man?
5 years.
Amen.
years.
So
I went Jamaican.
I think for these open carry douchebags, you're cowardly. You're a fucking coward. You're so afraid of the world that you just can't go and be a man out
Can
in the
I
world.
just,
Cowardly. I'm not saying no. Be clear.
again,
I'm
it
not-
is the loud, screamy, you excluded, I don't mean you,
I'm not
guy that you should not worry about. It
the
is,
quiet guy.
yes. And, for example, my brother is with Homeland Security. My brother goes nowhere unarmed.
100%.
My brother got baptized again a couple of months ago and had to go into the bathroom with his wife.
And they put it in, and it
And put it into his
at the
gun
bottom of the
safe.
baptismal, there is a
Yeah.
Glock 9 now. Why is there? It's blessed. So
But-
It's
I want
holy.
to
I'm agreeing with you.
I want to clarify though.
Yeah.
There are certain people out there. My uncle Dennis. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan hunts with a bow.
Wow.
Joe Rogan, he may shoot gun, but he's out there like Joe. Yeah, like go ahead, go up against some fucking thing with a bow. Rogan. So there's all these bros that think they are real men, and the reality is you're just fucking you don't know how to fight. Really, you have a gun because you're afraid.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest. You have a gun because you're afraid.
Also, Joe Rogan could kill somebody with his hands.
Yeah, Joe
right?
Rogan was-
and
Joe-
you never hear him talking about
No.
what a badass he is.
But
or-
that's my point. Like I saw him one time giving Brian Callen kicking lessons, and I watched the technique, and I was like, "Holy, he's dead right." And Callen
Left. He was just kicked and
Did you
out of the
see
frame.
it? Did you know? No, he actually he wouldn't hold his leg, so Joe grabbed his leg and pulled it, and it was like you see Callen go, "That's how!" Like he looked like he was in pain. But Joe Rogan is legit, and all these other cats are posers. You're just a bunch of fucking.
That's what I was
posers.
going to say. So my brother goes nowhere
Your brother's not a poser
without a weapon.
because he's holding a cert. He's an officer, right?
Yeah, but he's a special agent. But what I was going to say was he actually buys his shirts in an X or a 2X depending, so that you cannot tell that he's always armed. Like all these guys that are walking around, these fat guys
On the outside?
with it, or the thing strapped across their
They're
chest at
dude, what are
Hardee's.
you in the good, bad, and the ugly? Why are bullets across you?
Yeah,
What are you
it's
doing?
like, all right.
Yeah,
They don't even need a
All
strap.
right,
It just
baby,
wedges
T-Ray.
in.
But okay, so that's it. Let's just talk about the gun problem in America. That's the gun problem in America, and it's fine. And I stand by it. You're a coward. Now watch what'll happen. Some guy will put a gun on me. Am I a coward now? Yes. And if you
No,
shoot me,
don't
you're
say
still a
that.
coward. Why? Because you couldn't put the gun down and meet me on the mat. That's why.
There's also another ingredient to this. It's like a trifold whatever.
Yeah.
It's not just the culture, but it's there's so much
You mean
money
one of those
in
things,
it.
One of those things you go blue, red, green.
Yeah, what are
like
those
a trifold?
origami
Oh, yeah.
things? What are those things? And no
love
matter what you do,
those.
it ends up on a dollar sign. I don't.
Those are so fun.
AK-15 will shoot.
It really took a long
You're
time
dead.
to make for the benefit that they had.
Yeah, they were such a good. Go ahead.
They had a lot of
it's,
time,
it's a
though.
little foldy thing that you were going to say. Go ahead.
It's it's the money in it. We
Yes,
have
100%.
there's like conventions you can go to.
Uh-huh.
There's the only thing that's been added to since all these shootings is more and more guns and more products. There's like bulletproof backpacks.
Yeah.
There's bulletproof briefcases.
Yeah.
It's also follow the money on anything. Follow the money and look at the money in the NRA. You can look at the
Yep.
money that went to Wayne LaPierre, who was not supposed to be financing $10,000 suits and private jet
Right.
trips and
Well, that was
stuff
all
like that.
donation money from gun owners.
Yes.
Right.
They
He just
paid
blew it.
for it. They didn't pay to make a safer America. They
No.
paid for him to have shiny suits.
Right. And
And also the money that goes into politicians' pockets.
Yep.
Mhm.
You know, follow the money with pharmaceutical companies.
There
I mean,
are-
it's always
there
trackable.
are currently guys in our government right now that have been paid tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars by the NRA. And because our Supreme Court is just a majority piece of shit that they're actually so corrupt now. They're like, yeah, corporations can give as much money to politicians as they want because corporations, Walmart, that's a people. Costco
Mhm.
is a people.
Yep.
General Motors is a people.
And
So we're fucked.
Those other countries, Australia, they have guys that are there that are big into guns.
Yeah, yes, they do.
But they don't have also a gun and NRA industry that is freely allowed to give to their politicians
Right.
and keep the
Right.
fucking money train going.
Right. Well, I love what I love about Australians. Japanese are I think the Japanese are classier and much culturally just right and wrong, and the Australians kind of have this base level, right? Well, that's stupid. Like they have this. They're pragmatic people.
Yeah.
And I think that when I see, like they had the Queensland shooting, there was a big shooting in Australia. We talked about it 4 years ago. 35 people were killed, and the entire country went, "Hey, this is not right. It's not good. We can't do this anymore."
And they did a whole program where they said, "Hey, if you want to donate your gun, we're just going to buy them back.
Right,
you can't.
we'll buy
it's up
them
to you."
back. And it was the conservatives that did it. The conservatives were like, "We can't have this."
Yeah.
So
I don't think it was totally voluntary, was it?
yes,
Didn't they decide?
there was a buyback. Yeah, I think you had to bring it back in, but then you could actually,
San Francisco
but then
tried
you
that.
could apply. But then you could apply,
Right,
and then
right,
you have
right.
to sit down for an interview. And I've gone over this. Jesus Christ, we've done what 25 podcasts in all these years about guns because a lot of shootings. So we're to the point now where there is no arguments. The only argument left is my guns. Well, okay, coward. Go ahead. Keep your guns. You scared? You scared? I get it. I get how scared. I really fucking get how scared you are. You're so frightened of the world that you need to have how many guns? As I said in one of my shows, you can only shoot 2.
Yeah.
And even then, click. Give me a second. What are you going to do?
It was in Port Arthur in Tasmania.
Port Arthur, that's right.
A guy walked into a cafe in a tourist town and I believe killed 35 people
Yeah,
and
yeah,
wounded
sounds right.
another
Yep.
28.
Yep.
And so you were right. Everybody was like, you know what? That's a bad idea. And so they did a gun buyback before they then enacted laws.
You remember
But
how
they
long- you remember
got
how long I've been-
650,000 guns.
You do understand how long I've been working on this. So when I say I'm usually pretty good at remembering. I mean,
Oh,
how many?
I know that.
No. We've
Oh,
just done it
God.
so many times.
I
I'm
was
like,
just because you said the name. I didn't think
I
it
got the
was-
wrong. Yeah, I got the
And
wrong.
I just
Port Arthur,
wanted
right.
to, because people will be like
There was
keyboard
one
warriors will
at-
be like, "That's not right. You
There
don't
was
know
one.
what you're talking
You're right.
about."
Exactly. Thank you. There was Queensland. There was one in Queensland recently, but it was like
Pretty
2
much,
or
you
4
could say any city now, and there would be.
Yeah,
I
well,
could
in
search
America-
it and find one.
I'm sure the impact of our 24-hour news cycle is also feeding the fear, which then leads people to.
Well, I think there's 2 news programs now. It didn't used to be CNN, but CNN is feeding the fear now too.
Yeah.
And Fox has lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
That's actually been years, but Fox, like Jesse Waters has the balls to just go, if you vote Kamala, that's your first step to transitioning into a woman. If you take guns away, man, the entire country's going to come out. You're just going to get killed. You're going to get killed and raped by immigrants that are coming over the border at
the
thousands.
border thing. They're coming
10
over the border.
10
They're stealing
million.
everything.
They said 10 million immigrants. That's not true. What are you talking about? Like
made it
what? You're just making up fucking random
They
numbers.
do make up.
Mhm.
Just
Listen
random
to
numbers.
Trump. He just randomly says stuff that's not.
But at one
real.
point, it's the country's fault. It used to be when I was
Yeah.
growing up, if some news organization was that full of shit, they would become a laughing stock. They would become a laughing stock and get pretty much drummed out of the business.
Yeah.
And so now we've got too many guns. There was a shooting today, this Wednesday that we're on today, and 4 people, 2 students, 2 teachers killed, in Georgia, and 13 other people wounded. And I got to be honest with you, man. It's like it so didn't affect me, and that's fucked up.
Yeah.
It didn't affect me. I was like, yeah. Oh, I was like, 4? Only 4.
Right. I had the same thought.
Only 4.
Like, okay, that's not as bad as
Well,
yesterday's.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
It was 9
Yeah.
yesterday. What about Vegas? You'd be like, Vegas set the bar. Like,
Seriously.
oh, the Vegas shooting. It's 4. Guys, it's only 4. Now, that's a fucked up situation for us to be thinking.
As citizens, we have allowed our power as citizens here to be taken away, like little by little,
Yeah.
over the course of
Yeah.
the last 40, 50 years. We let them with citizens, as we say this every podcast, Citizens United, Fairness Doctrine, all that shit was just slowly taken away.
Right.
And now we're kind of powerless a little
Hold
bit.
on though.
But we fell for the
But
bullshit
wait,
too.
there's more.
Oh God!
What? 5 people?
So the bill most frequently being lobbied in the Congress right now is HR 764, which they just can't seem to get passed. This year,
They keep filibustering it.
they have lobbied the NRA with little more than $2.3 million so far. Here's the interesting part, though. The NRA's outside spending for this cycle is $15,898,751. If you look at, so these are expenditures of the NRA. For Republicans of that money, here are the categories. For Republicans, this is on opensecrets.org, $8.3+ million of that
Went directly to politicians.
expenditures, dinners, trips, whatever.
So whining and dining
Okay,
politicians.
for Republicans is your first category, 8.3 to 7.
Of the 15, 8.3 went just to Republicans.
Against Democrats is the next part. 5,675,000.
That's running ads and stuff from politicians and political
For
campaigns.
Democrats, $26,976.
Doesn't that tell you right there? Doesn't that tell you?
Against Republicans, zero.
Zero.
Doesn't that tell you the whole? Isn't that the whole game right
That's
there?
it right there. It's all bought and paid
Listen,
for.
Both sides. Fuck you, both sides.
No.
These are campaign finance totals released by the FEC, released on August 21st, 2024.
And, here's the thing. All that money is donated by people who want to keep their guns, who've been scared to death by Fox News and other people on the right wing. And guess what, guys? No one wants to take, no one gives a shit. Guess what? Obama didn't take your guns.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to take, we want to outlaw assault weapons.
Here's the thing that makes us crazy.
This makes her nuts.
It makes us crazy. They keep saying, well, I guess it makes me crazy and I make you crazy with it. Trump is on stage right now. They want to take your guns. They're going to take your guns. Bitch, Joe Biden is the president right now. He's in his 4th year and they didn't take your guns.
But also, if guns are so fine, why are you in a bulletproof box now, bitch?
Yeah, exactly.
Like if guns are fine, you're in a, as I called it, a rapist aquarium right now.
Yeah.
You're in a glass box. Yeah, don't they want to take your guns? Well, if it's no big deal, why do you have?
Yeah, he was just shot at, and we didn't come for anybody's
No
guns.
one.
No, we didn't. But they're going to take your guns. It's going to be a dictatorship. All the stuff that they say it's going to be.
It's in Project 2025.
But we're in a Democratic administration, and it's not that.
Right.
And Obama was president for 8 years,
And it didn't happen. Right.
So help make that make sense.
Clinton too was also president. Clinton was 8 years. Guess what? Remember? Do you remember the dictatorship in Clinton when the economy grew better than it ever has, and everybody had jobs and we invented laptop computers? Oh, do you remember when Obama was here and like after the Republicans totally shit the bed on the housing crisis and the mortgage crisis and the economy tanked and all you could see was for lease signs on any street you went down, and then he turned it around, saved General Motors and Chrysler. Do you remember that?
Remember the worst thing was a tan suit?
Yeah.
That was the worst thing.
Grey Poupon.
Mustard on a hot dog. Fancy mustard on a hot dog. So
today in Appalachia High School, a 14-year-old is now in custody. So far, it always changes. 4 people, 2 teachers and 2 students were killed. 9 were injured after gunfire this morning. 14-year-old suspect is a student at the school, surrendered immediately. He's going to be, they say, expect him to be charged as an adult. Victims have not been identified yet.
14 years old, that's a freshman, right?
Yeah.
School just started. Like, how bad did this kid get hassled?
Look, school sucks. And it's back to school week.
A month?
It sucks.
A month? Like, how many lockers were you shitting? How many
today? Today's like the first day back.
Like how? How do you? Like most people snap after somewhere in the spring.
Yeah,
maybe February. You snapped in August, September.
You couldn't even find your locker yet.
Like, you haven't memorized your combination, and you're on the.
There's no homework yet.
I don't endorse any of this.
I'm just saying that.
Sometimes I think me sitting here, people think it counts as an endorsement, and I just want to say.
So,
no.
14 years old. So we now have kids at 14 walking into their schools and killing people.
Colt Gray is his name.
Colt.
Gray.
Okay.
Not like cult.
I know Colt.
Colt with an O, as in the gun.
Yeah. There you go. So we got a 14-year-old kid, and again, I was 14 one time, and I knew all the people that were 14.
Mm-hmm.
There was always a weird kid. But that kid didn't shoot the school up. Now, a lot of people said on the news they were talking about video games, and they were talking about violent movies, and then someone else pointed out, they go, no, those movies play worldwide. John Wick plays worldwide.
We already went through this with Marilyn Manson in the 90s.
Yeah, we're all not assassins. Yeah. It's fine. It's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Metallica, worldwide. Yeah. Every death metal, worldwide. What the fuck are you talking about? It happens now. This is a simple question that will frustrate everybody, but if we didn't have easy access to guns, if you had to jump through some hoops to get a weapon, I don't want to take your guns away. Some people are good with them. My Uncle Dennis is stunning. Your brother is like Scotty. There's people in my family that are like, you've trained for years. You can have a gun. What would happen to these mass shootings if we made it so not every douchebag guy, chicken shit because he watched Jesse Waters on Fox News can get a gun? What if we changed that? What if we made it so you had to be proficient with the weapon enough to pass a test? You really had to be proficient. Like they go, you're gonna have to put 20 shots in center mass. You're gonna have to show me how you use the weapon. You're gonna show me where it's locked up. This is Japan rules. You have to show me where it's locked up. They have a whole thing in Japan. It takes 6 months up to 6 months.
My idea was always 10 friends. You have to have 10
This
people.
is a great idea.
Sign off.
That know you.
Agree to a quick interview, just like when, you do a background check, like for my brother's security clearance, top secret security clearance. They called me or came to wherever I was, asked me a few questions. And I was like, no, we didn't do anything in college. And because you're not there. So there are people in your life that you can think of right now that to their face, you'd be like, yeah, sure, man, whatever. I'll say you can. And then when they come, you'll be like,
do I have 10?
Yeah.
Do I have 10? I don't think I have 10 that would sign off on me having a gun.
I think you have none.
The best people that love me more than you would be like, yeah, no.
No.
And I'm fine with that.
My sister actually said yesterday, because she was concerned about what we were going to court for today, and she said, maybe you should get your gun and put it in the glove compartment. Maybe you shouldn't tell Titus that the gun is there. She goes, he can defend himself with his fists. He's a very good fighter. She goes, but maybe just don't tell him that there's a gun.
That's craziness.
Everybody's like, no, he's fine without a weapon.
We didn't take the gun to the
We did
court.
not. Here's a quote from one of the students.
And by the way, wait. Everyone's going to jump on that right now. People, be very clear. If tomorrow the law was passed that you had to turn your gun in, turn it in.
Yeah.
But I'm not bragging. We don't brag, talk, go nuts about it. We're not sitting there standing. We're saying that, like, it's not even.
It's the dumbest thing ever when people say that we're lefties or whatever. I grew up in the South.
Right.
I grew up shooting from the time I was 5 years old. It's a different culture than where you grew up.
Right.
And my dad started teaching us weapon safety when I was a little kid. My dad was a Marine. And so I knew we would target practice. It was something we did for fun. I was always against hunting. That's my own personal preference. And then once I was in my early 20s, I always, until I moved to California, had a concealed carry permit. I always carried my gun with me because I ran nightclubs and I had a lot of money late at night.
And the one in Memphis was not in the nicest area.
No, it was not.
And neither one in Louisiana was it?
That's the one I was. There were a couple not in the nicest areas.
So
here's a quote from a student today. Quote, I was scared because I've never been in a school shooting. End quote. He told ABC News. That's how casually kids think about these now.
Yeah.
So Kamala Harris.
Did you just call her Kamala?
Oh, Kamala. Sorry. Kamala got up at a speech today. Now, again, Trump's talking about they're going to take your guns from a bulletproof box. Just want to point, if anybody else can't see the fucking irony in that, then you should go listen to a podcast about farting.
Which is sometimes this one.
Sometimes this one. They're pooping for
the two of you.
So, so then you got Kamala Harris who said, she said, I did a tour. She said, she went off. She goes, I'm going to go off script for a second. I need to talk about something. She said she did a tour when she visited a bunch of technical schools. She was talking about the CHIPS Act and stuff when Biden was president, technical schools, colleges. And she said, I asked the kids, I said, how many of you guys in your lives have actually had to go through a school shooting drill? And she said, like 90 to 100% of the kids raise their hands.
Yeah.
We live in a country now where we've become so used and so fucking deadened to the fact that we teach our kids to get ready for someone coming to fucking hunt them. Yeah. Does anyone else fucking think that's insane? Yeah. Like the rest of the world thinks we're fucking morons. We were in Scotland. Holy shit, man. It didn't stop. Whenever we sat down to eat, someone go, Americans, right? Yeah, Americans. Okay. Well, it's good. I got to ask you something. what's the deal with you and the guns? Like, remember on the Fingal, that lady was just, come on, I'll never take my children. Never take my children.
That's what our server on the Fingal, we were having high tea with grandma. And she said, I always, would have loved to take my daughter for vacation. She goes, I will never take my children there. It's like the Wild West. I would never go there. It's not safe. Yeah. They look at us like we're nuts, like we're dumb.
Yeah.
Fat.
They're dumb.
And
we're
crazy.
Yeah,
Yes. We were the butt of so many street performers' jokes.
God. They loved it. When I said I'm from America, you could see the guy with the unicycle lit up. He's like, "Oh, I'm beating this," and I'm like, "I'm a comic." He didn't know.
He made a joke about where are you hiding your gun?
I just stepped up and I just put my hands up at that, and I stepped up and let him. He abused me for 20 minutes. Honestly, right.
The problem, like, we can't even have the conversation before somebody just fucking puts up a hand and goes, Second Amendment.
Yep.
But that's the coward. That's the fucking coward. You won't even sit down and have a real conversation about it. Like, because I don't think, our country has a long history of weapons, a long history of self-defense, a long history, but and when you go, it was the Constitution, well regulated. That's not what it fucking means. That they fucking lose their shit. And you're like, I've dealt with it. We've dealt with it since, again, our first podcast with the Jared Latham, and you just go, You guys aren't even willing to fix it. You're fine with 29,000 to 35,000 people a year dying from gun violence. Yeah. That doesn't happen anywhere else.
It blows my mind.
Japan, 200.
That 200. We can't get anything, that they won't concede anything.
Right. Well,
so if I'm telling you that school shootings are the number one cause of death of children.
Kids, yes.
And that's only in this country where we have the loosest gun laws, then why can't we have a conversation about changing something? It's so rigid. Like you're saying, it's come down to that. It's that dumb shit that I told you, that as soon as people say any of these catchphrases, it's Second Amendment has become one of those. Woke, radical left, the Second Amendment.
The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is with a good guy with a gun. Well, just so you guys know the statistics, and that the clerk, there's a guy named Clerk or whatever, wrote a book on it. He estimated. He goes, it's estimated that 30,000 murders are stopped by guns. It's estimated. What? Back up your data. I'm estimating. So
also, the other countries don't have all those murders to counter it.
Less than 2%. Less than 2% of robberies, shootings, killings are stopped by a good guy with a gun. Now, does it happen? Yes.
I do just want to say that in the midst of all of this horror, Reagan from Australia has apologized to the breakdance community for backlash to her Paris Olympic performance. If you haven't seen the Australian breakdancers' performance at the Olympics, I thought he was playing an SNL sketch for me. I didn't think it was real.
Come and watch this. This is on the Olympics. She goes, this is the. I go, this is the.
Speaking of exercising, this episode brought to you by Lumen. See what I did? I segued into a story that wasn't so heinous, and then I tied it in. Like, we have been waiting to do this ad again. He asked me every week, is it this week? Are we doing the Lumen ad this week?
Okay, so let me do my little testimony about Lumen. So when I got Lumen, Lumen is,
let me just say really quickly
what it is.
It's the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It's a device that measures your metabolism through your breath, just like athletes used to have to go to the hospital to do, like Olympic athletes. You go on the app on your phone, it lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs, and then gives you tailored guidance to improve your nutrition, workout, sleep, and even stress management.
Remember Rocky IV when like Drago was running and they had he had like
all the tech in Russia,
3 CPAP Max on his head and his tubes and everything. Well, the technology, it's this little thing, and you breathe into it. You breathe through it in, and then you breathe out into it, and it measures or whatever, ketones, pheromones, whatever it's doing. And
he doesn't know any of that. He made that up.
I said whatever. I added a whatever.
It's measuring your metabolism through your breath. So,
but how is it doing it?
All you have to do is breathe into it. First thing in the morning, you'll know what's going on with your metabolism, and it'll tell you if you're burning mostly fat or carbs. Right.
So I started using it. I remember when I first got it, I was like, oh man, because you got to put your food in, and it tracks your macros. It'll track how many carbs you can have. Once it reads your breath, once it reads what your body's burning, it gives you carbs, protein, and fat, and how many grams you can have. Now, I remember looking at it and I was irritated when I first got it. I was like, damn it. I don't want to.
It was totally.
I was like,
I don't get this.
It's busy and I got to put everything in and meh. So
and I then said, oh my God, it's amazing. And I've already lost 4 pounds. And he was like, hold on.
Yeah.
Because he's competitive. How do I use this?
So I started using it.
Yeah.
I started putting it in. I have lost. Okay. So I started Lumen at 198. 2 days ago, I was 188.
I
have lost 10 pounds.
I've lost
Nice
9
work.
pounds.
And it's weird because it's kind of turned into a game for me.
Yeah.
Where I'm like trying to hit. I'm like,
yes,
because I want to hit but I don't want to go over too far. Although I had pizza. By the way, it also teach you, if you don't want to know, it'll teach you how much stuff carbs is in stuff.
Yes.
Pizza, I was like, I guess that's a once a year thing now.
But also it makes you so aware
Right.
of what you're putting in your mouth. Because I keep saying to him, I don't understand how this is working. 9 pounds I've lost. I mean, I have on loose 9 pounds.
Yeah, you're
It's
super
like
skinny.
weird. I put on pants today for court that I wore a month ago on stage, and they were tight and they were hanging off of me. My niece was like, God, your pants are too big. I don't know how it's working, other than it makes me so aware of what I'm eating and what macros are in that food, and that carbs are not only in bread-like items or rice or potato.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Sugar carbs. Oh my God.
Yeah,
those are insane.
Even in certain fruits. Oh, forget it.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck fruit. I'm not even. I do. I do have peach in the morning, but but
it's not bad. But what I've noticed is that because of it's measuring what you're burning and how you're burning it.
Yes.
It's training it's reading it. Then it's giving you your plan for how many carbs, how much fat, how much protein. And so when you hit that, you're losing weight.
Then if you work out, it adjusts that plan so you get more carbs if you work out.
And that's the thing is what I loved is I got bonuses for working out. I'm like, I got 45 more carbs.
which is really like, let's say if you were just counting your macros before this, right? This takes it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like now you plug it in and then you put your workout in and then it adjusts it for you.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, you could do that on your own. But this thing's also now tracking when you went to sleep. And how your cortisol levels affect it.
Yes.
And like, you could never get that shit on regular macro.
Do you know that would cost you at a doctor to do it?
So before it was me checking off what my coach said when I did fitness shows, what I have to eat this many of this every day, this many, and that can fit into that category. Now I'm controlling the science behind it.
Yeah.
I'm not creating. I just mean I'm like controlling it in the sense that I just need to fit within those parameters. But also, if I want to eat pizza tonight, I'll go do an extra workout or something.
You can modify it in real time.
So our friend Kate that listens to the podcast, she lives in Chicago, and she texted me. She said, I lost 8 pounds in just over 2 weeks using Lumen, yelled in Oprah's voice. And she said, she said, I'm telling all my friends, it's mysterious and wonderful.
It's
and
not
we're
mysterious.
all
It's just
obsessed.
it's really science. And the one thing I love about it now that I'm into it is that I would do crazy stuff. I would over fast, intermittent fast. I would go, I'm not eating this ever again.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to stop this. And I had all these little things that didn't work. And then now like sometimes I'll get like 120 grams of fat and I'm like, I got to eat 120 grams of fat today, which makes me not hungry.
Yeah.
What I've noticed is so it's not a diet, kids. I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
What I keep telling Ray is I'm not hungry. I hit them all the macros and I didn't hurt myself. I'm I'm fine.
You're not starving
and
yourself.
I think your body
all.
goes, oh, I'm fine. I can burn now. But if you cut your fat, if you overcarb, your body if you cut your fat too much, your body starts to slow down.
You do get carb load days though.
And if you undereat, your body says, I'm going to hold on to the fat. Yep. This gives you that amount. So your body goes, I am working optimally now. Let's do it.
So if you want to take the next step in improving your health, go to lumen.me/Titus. You'll get 15% off of your Lumen. That's lumen.me/Titus. You'll get 15% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, because we love it. You're right. You don't have to. It's not a diet. I last night had macadamia nut turtles from Costco
just to fill your thing,
because they fit, and I wanted them, but I tracked them. And I had lost more weight this morning.
So I had carbs left last night, and I went to and I was like, so I had eaten all my protein. I was over protein a little bit, but I'm trying to get a little bit of muscle, so I went over my protein about 30 grams.
Yeah.
And then I had like 45 carbs left, and I was like, huh. So I went to, and so there's a little scanner so it connects to your phone, guys. You can go scan like the barcode of whatever you're eating, and it'll put in exactly what it is.
Yep. We
have these Reese's peanut butter ice cream sandwiches, and they're about this big, and they're thin. But I was like, I said, bloop, and it said 25 carbs. I was like,
oh yeah, you can see it.
I was like, I'm fitting in the carbs.
I feel sorry for Ray Gunn. They used a picture of her doing the backwards kangaroo hop. Do you know that she did not score 1 point?
0. She got 0.
0 points.
She got zeros.
Was this the first year that break dancing?
I think so.
For Australia, I don't know.
There were some guys that were, but it's still weird.
She said that her breaking style is just a different approach to the sport.
Yeah, no.
Poor thing.
So do you know what she did? So here's what she did. I looked it up. She actually went and she had her own audition thing where she would do these regional things. Well, she was in charge of them. So she was in charge of these regional dance-offs. So she kept moving up through these regionals and then got bumped on the Olympic team.
So wait, the Olympics is a little bit scammy? Interesting.
You know what I love about it? She got to be in the fucking Olympics. Okay. But she also paid the price. I love how Karma always gets you as a worldwide laughingstock.
She kind of was bunny hopping up the levels.
That's a kangaroo hop.
Yeah, it's a kangaroo
it's
hop.
from her native country. An asteroid will imminently burn up in Earth's atmosphere right over the Philippines, apparently, on today. This happened today.
Yeah, it burned up. How are the Philippines?
Well, this is a headline. It says it will imminently burn up in Earth's atmosphere. Okay, because we're obviously not on the same time. So I was like, wait, that already happened. They're doing it in their time. So yes, today it will burn up supposedly. I'm just saying that.
See, this kind of stuff always
terrifying.
This shit kind of gives me a little like, wait, hey, don't worry, it's going to burn up. I'm sorry, he fell. What happened to the Philippines? They fell. I don't know.
Did you know that
the asteroid?
Asteroids around a meter in size are estimated to hit Earth about every 2 weeks, according to the space agency, though very rarely spotted before making impact. This is the 9th asteroid that humankind has ever spotted before impact. Why are they just now telling us this?
And asteroid meter, it's a meter that's this big.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a meter.
Yeah, but that's big enough to take out the dinosaurs.
Right.
Going fast
enough. You think
enough.
so? No. Is it that big?
No, but it'll do some damage.
There was a great animation on Instagram where they showed what would happen if a rock, it wasn't even that big. It was if an asteroid 100 yards across hit Earth. Mm-hmm. And it's over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's over.
And they're flying over all the time.
We are just roulette wheeling every day. It's just another spin of the roulette wheel, man. Every fucking day.
With everything.
Yes.
With guns. I mean, we go to the theater and I always check for rear exits. I don't want to sit in a theater.
We started doing
without
that
a rear
like
exit.
7-8 years ago.
Yep.
We will go to the theater. We'll see.
Any building or business we go into.
What's the quickest way out?
And what do I always tell you?
Take your phone. Never leave. Do
I
not
am
get out of the car without your
so
phone.
vigilant with him about this because sometimes he'll leave his phone in the car. Always take your phone, guys. Always, no matter where you're going, even if you're just running into a Starbucks or something.
Can I? And here's a good reason for it. It's not just so if you can get the cops online. It's look. The good news is after Uvalde, by the way, after the clowns in Uvalde, the cops have decided. Like 2 cops showed up instantly on this kid. Quick, and there was another one that happened where the cops were there instantly. So it's the police officers that are driving towards the shooting. Thank you, but keep your phones on you because you got to get because the cops will get there fast. I don't understand why. Like the arguments are so hollow now. They're just and these fuckers are just such paper tigers. And you guys said it. It comes down to money. If someone walked in and go, Titus, here's $1 million. Here's what your podcast is about. I would sit down with you guys and go, well, our podcast is now about white people are the best. And you guys would be like, are we doing it? I go, it's $1 million a piece.
Okay.
Well, yeah. How's everybody doing? I don't think we wouldn't sell out.
So mass shootings in the U.S. in 2024, it's actually down from last year. Last year
we
was
were
the
at 360.
second since 2013. But what's interesting is that if you look at what are classified as mass shootings in the U.S. in 2024, it's a lot more than we hear about because of the number of deaths. So
4, right?
on
4.
September 2nd, there were 6 mass shootings, what would have been considered. They all had numerous people injured. Some 6 people were injured in Antioch, Tennessee, but 0 died. So we don't hear about it. Brooklyn, 1 death, 4 injured. Actually, Forest Park, Illinois, 4 dead, 0 injured. I didn't hear about that one. Bessemer, Alabama, 4 injured. Federal Way, Washington, 5 injured, 0 deaths. So we don't hear about them. Dayton, Ohio, September 1st. 5 people injured. So, I mean, you look at this, we don't hear about this many.
Because it's like hearing about
it's all the time. And this one,
it's constant. Why would we hear
if it's
about
at
it?
a school, that might go up a little bit on the news salacious level. So that might
6
get.
But it all
on
depends on the
August
blind girl.
21st,
But here's
25th. 6 on August 25th.
Here's the sickest part of the news cycle. It all depends on body count.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Like this was a school shooting. 4 people died. 2 teachers, 2 kids. Vegas was crazy.
Yeah.
This goes back to last week. News isn't news anymore. Mm-hmm. You motherfuckers aren't covering this as an epidemic. Do you know why? Because they don't want to lose the right wing. This is why they're normalizing Trump. They don't want to lose that audience. Mm-hmm. So they're putting democracy and kids in schools' bodies, death, children dying behind ratings. Yeah. And that's why the news 25th, fucking sucks. I'm in a mood today.
So
sorry,
listen,
guys.
August 25th,
sorry for swearing
6
so much.
Mass shootings. So you look at like Allentown, Pennsylvania. I didn't hear about that. 6 people injured. That's a lot of injuries from a mass shooting, but 0 died. We didn't hear about it. Lubbock, Texas. Mobile, Alabama. 6 injured, 0 dead. Sioux Falls, Warner Robins, Georgia. Another in Georgia. That was August 25th.
It's the same thing,
Anyone
just
notice
different
a
aim.
connection to all these places are happening? Anyone see a connection to these places? They're all states with almost 0 gun laws. Now they keep saying that the more guns you have, the safer.
What's that?
Pennsylvania has really low gun laws.
They do.
Yeah. And by the way, the people always say, yeah, what about Illinois, Chicago, man? Chicago's worse than the world. Well, there's no. Yeah. But Indiana, because you can just go 90 miles, drive across the board to Indiana, and you can load your car up with guns and drive them back.
It's all trafficked
Pennsylvania ranks 40% out of 100%. It's 17 in the country for gun loss strength. So they're not.
All right. How many in Pennsylvania? How many in Pennsylvania for the year? How many shootings?
Well, I don't know. I'm not on that. I'm on gun law ratings.
You said Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, Mississippi, Georgia. I mean, it's like.
Well, there was one in Hawaii on August 31st.
There was one, and
3 deaths, 2 injuries.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
I like that you pronounce it.
Hawaii. Ukulele. I gave him an ukulele that he gave back to me.
This will never die. This will never. I am never.
You know this story. Everybody knows this story. He opened it because
Tell it again.
He loved to play guitar.
Yep.
And he was teaching himself. And he wanted, and I thought, he goes, I wish I could take my guitar on the road. And I thought, he needs an ukulele. And
blink dink blink dink blink dink blink dink blink dink.
So he opened
it's not a travel guitar.
I just thought he could play music because it calms him. I wanted him calm.
Juice harp.
So I open it.
He opened it.
This was early on in our relationship.
The first word was nope.
I go.
He closed the box, handed it back to me, and said, Bruce Springsteen doesn't play a ukulele.
Thank you. And I was right.
And you were wrong because Bruce Springsteen has sense. I could pull up a video playing an ukulele.
As a joke.
That's
And you
because
have
when
to
we met
say
him,
it
you
that
said,
way.
dude, would you please? Because I want
Just
to stuff it
put
up
out
his
a
ass.
video.
And Dino Springsteen was like, yeah, man, I'll do it for you. Okay. All right, sure. I'll make Titus look stupid. Yeah. That's what we're going to do.
Speaking of being a stinky man, this episode brought to you by Mando.
Yep, good
I
stuff.
actually just pitched this to my brother yesterday via signal text
for his
son, who's 12 years
Who's 12.
old. And
He knows.
the text started because his wife bought menthol, cool mint butt wipes for their son, and my brother
painful.
sent me a text.
Yeah,
and said,
so it's that or Clorox wipes, kids.
these were in the bathroom. I tried it, and he said, I feel like I just smoked a menthol with my butthole. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. So I said,
Peppermint asshole is not what I'm looking for. That's kind of stingy. That's a little bit.
If you're trying to find a way to make your son cleaner, here's this product. And he had not heard of it. He goes, wait, what is that? And so I told him about your son. I said, he's 13 and he's
and all that entails
pure stank mode. And I said he got him the starter kit. So he said, send me the link so I can go get this for him. And but first he goes, what is it? So I'm actually doing an ad for him via text.
So so I went up to the cabin. We had the snow load was so bad last year. We had a wall buckle a little bit, like in the drywall buckle. So I had to rip all the drywall. This was not a fun. I hate when a place that you go for fun, it just turns into
a
work.
project.
Yes, it's just work. So I took all the drywall out, this 14-foot high wall and the windows, and I take it all out. And then this took 2 days, and I did the drywall. No, I did drywall first, and I put all the wood up. I cut all the plywood to redo it, to shear the wall up. And I worked for 12 or 13 hours. I had put Mando on that morning. When I got done and I went to shower, I was like, oh, whoa.
It's crazy. We first heard about it from
I don't have a deodorant that does as well as Mando.
Dr.
honestly.
Klingman being on TV for the Lumi ads. That's where we first discovered Mando and Lumi. And it's a whole body deodorant. You can put it on your whole body. I actually
don't list this parts. Just imagine.
So I texted my brother the word grundle, and he sent back, I think we've skipped some levels.
Yes, exactly.
That's what he said back. But
why are you assuming my grundle stinks?
It controls odor for 72 hours, clinically proven to do that. You can choose from cologne quality scent or go unscented if you want to not have a scent to it. The amazing thing about it is that you can put it anywhere. I won't say where again, but you can put it anywhere. And
I like that you do it
whole
sign
body
language.
formula, no aluminum, no benzene, parabens. It's dye free. 72 hours it lasts. Developed by a doctor, and so I'm assuming that's why this worked, because people were getting misdiagnosed.
It deals with it on the bacteria level. That's what when like you and that's what she should have just started as a doctor. Because I love the commercial. I love the stuff. It's great. I do have to say that. So go. How do we get it?
He also, though, he's happy that she's not putting her feet in the camera anymore. He's got a thing about that feet thing. They also have body wash.
She says
they have body wash. They've got a cleansing bar. They've got deodorant wipes. And Wyatt was using all of these things. So there's actually also wipes that you can use everywhere too. Really can't recommend this product enough. It's changed Ken's life. It's about to change my brother's life.
Yeah.
So Mando's starter pack, that's what he has, is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, the cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice. You can get like that mini body wash or deodorant wipes and free shipping. We have this discount code to help you get hooked on our favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off the starter kit with our code Titus. So that would equate to over 40% off of your starter pack. You can just use code Titus at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com.
You do still have to get them to put it on, but less often. Because it used to be
3 days.
Yeah, you get a window of time. So as a parent, you don't have to yell at them as much.
You get a window, like just for
parent,
God's sake.
Your eyes don't water as much either.
So wait, menthol butt wipes. I don't even want to talk about it. I've heard of brain freeze.
Sent me
I
a
do not want
picture
ass freeze. I'd be like, oh God, I get brain.
He sent me a picture of them. That's how
menthol
the conversation.
That's
I think they were called Cool Mint. So,
I mean, if you're,
I don't even know. Like, what was that meeting? What was that product mean? All right, guys, I got an idea.
You know how you're chewing your gum in your mouth?
Yeah,
you can chew gum from both sides.
It makes your breath smell really good. What if?
You can use it with your grundle.
Oh, you mean why would they put mint in butt wipes?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Well, because maybe see, there's the picture of him.
So your partner's breath could be minty fresh? Explain to me
cool
what.
Mint with wild mint and here's the really bad idea. I just zoomed in. Oh, these are Walmart brand, Equate brand, extra large flushable wipes. Cool Mint with wild mint and peppermint essential oils. Okay, so let me tell you guys about peppermint essential oils. My sister and I, she met. There was this doctor where she lived that got into, like there's some of those people that get into Scentsy or they get into the essential oils.
Crystals, right? Same
or whatever. Right. So she got a bunch of these essential oils from him, and she and I bought this all natural body lotion, and we were like, we're just gonna put the oil in the lotion and put it on. And so I took my little peppermint oil, essential oil, and I took the plain unscented body lotion to Boise. That was like one of our early times working there. And I put the drops and I rub it together and I put it on. I have never been that painfully freezing. It makes your skin like pucker. And it was so painful and it made my heart like I was panicking. So I call my sister and I go, oh my God, don't do it. And she goes, what are you talking about? I'm standing in front of my oven with my robe open. She was standing like that. And we laughed so hard, but I never did it again. But yeah, these are for, they're for your butthole. So don't use essential oil on your skin or your butthole. That's all I have to say.
There you go. I think that is, sometimes you get good advice from us.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes we're informative.
What is going on with we're all going to try to find why this 14-year-old kid is. Now, I always go to this. It's not 500 14-year-old kids doing it. It's one. So I never go to it's music, it's movies, it's this, it's the internet, it's blah, blah. I always go to, no, it's the fucking parents. Yeah. Let me be very clear. It's always the parents. If your kid is a psychopath, it's your fault. Yeah. Now, there's also medical stuff in there, but it always comes down to the parents. That's when people want to call me a lefty. I'm like, no, it's fucking you. You were a shitty parent.
How did you allow your child to grab the gun? Right. You weren't watching him get into when you picked him up or drove him to school that morning or whatever the fuck.
He didn't seem a little off. He didn't seem
a little. What was that big giant thing hanging from his?
Why? It's 80. It's a summer. It's September. It's 100
degrees.
Coat. Right.
What
trench
the fuck?
Right. Yeah. He's wearing a Matrix little thing, and you're like, why is he dressed in black leather? This is
early, Neo for Halloween.
What's that clicking? I keep hearing clicking. There is something. But by the way, this is what bothers me.
I think it's.
You always see the parents. I want to. Go ahead.
You interrupted me for sure. We can roll.
That was. I would go vote 3-3. I interrupted you. Sorry.
That it's what we overlook in all of our relationships. This situation that you and I are dealing with a family member right now it's dire. A baby's safety and life is
and someone we love dearly
at risk, and someone that we love dearly. And
besides that stupid baby,
he loves that baby so much. He had that baby in the hallway.
A baby and someone we care about.
You guys think sometimes he's a dick, and you're right, but he was in the hallway today for almost 3 hours in a suit with this little 6-month-old baby boy doing noises and playing videos, and I mean he's a softie, but. We're having this conversation about what you overlook, right? So now the farther she's gotten away, the more it's dawning on her. Yep. And the more every day she's a little bit happier. She's a little less dark.
Lighter. God.
Every day she's recognizing how scared she is. The fear. She started having nightmares about him finding her or whatever.
She was shaken today at the court.
And I have to say to her, so your body knows the danger you're in? So how did you live in it for that long and think everything was okay? And you've talked to her about your ex, what the little things that you overlook because you don't want to deal with it because stuff is hard and it's messy. And so that I can definitely see, these parents, oh, he's just a teenager. They go through stuff or, oh yeah, he's weird, or I work too much. I don't have time for that. I'm trying to put food on the table or whatever the excuses are that we all make. I think you can really see how that can manifest.
But that's why I'm gonna be. Listen, I'm not one to couch anything in some sort of soft edges. I'm not one to go, you know what? I get it. I understand. I don't understand. If you have a baby, you have a responsibility to raise that baby. If that baby shoots up a school,
say baby so aggressively. Baby. Here's another word. Say baby poop.
Baby poop.
I'm gonna hit every letter.
Usually you say, what did he say? Poop. Poop.
I went through a weird thing with poop. So listen.
Say baby poop.
Baby poop. You're the weirdest. You guys are weird. What is wrong with both of you?
You sound like a Hanna-Barbera character.
Baby poop. So to be clear,
please play that on repeat with music behind it. Baby poop.
Baby poop.
Okay, go ahead.
So if you're a parent and you have a child, you have a responsibility to that child. You just have to. And so many people, it's hard. Like, listen, I get it. It's hard. We've warned anybody who I'm going to have a baby. I always go, stop.
Yeah.
Hold on. I wrote a whole special about this called one of the big bits was Lamborghini Life. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Having a baby is not having a puppy. It's not. And puppies are hard. Chad, 14 years.
Puppies you can put behind a baby gate
and walk away.
Yeah.
Take a minute. And I really am seeing that it's every second of every day.
Yes.
Which thank God she loves. But
yes, she's great at it. She's becoming a really good mom. But if your kid ends up at 14 shooting up his school, you fucked up somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
You fucked up. And what bothers me is that we get this. I've seen it a couple of times where they've interviewed the parents, and when the parents which always makes me laugh, like why your kid just did the most violent, heinous shit we've ever, and why are you agreeing to an interview? It's real, but when it happens, I'm like, what are you doing?
Well, that kind of shit's gonna stop because those parents went to jail.
Yep. They got
So it's not. There's an extra incentive to. Pay attention.
Which is really good because that's the precedent setting thing towards getting the guns handled. Because if you're a parent and you didn't lock your weapon up and your kid took it to school and killed 4 people, guess what? You're going to jail for making that weapon accessible. We now have a precedent where you were charged as an accessory and you're going to jail.
It's interesting that they are now placing responsibility in the parents' hands. It makes sense, right? Kamala in San Francisco 100%. When she was DA, when she was AG, was when she was responsible, the first person to put parents in jail for truancy, for their kids, excessive truancy. And it makes sense because you made it.
Right.
It's the same way you can't own a car without this list of laws and responsibilities.
Right. Yep.
So you make this baby and you should have to be responsible for what you create. You said you were ready for a baby. I sat in court today. I listened to a girl. Well, the guy talked forever. God knows I've dated that guy. I was like, he was exhausting.
Should do a thing. We're not lawyers, but we should do a thing where you could sign up and we could teach you how to act in court. Because holy crap, as much court as we've
learned. Yeah, but this judge is great, and she lets people talk and subsequently hang themselves. I watched it happen over and over and over. And the guy says that she's disappearing at night. She's meeting people on Bumble, and
15 guys. This woman was
like,
while he was at work.
So this is what he says, but we don't know yet. We're ready to hear her side. So he says she's banging 15 guys. I have pictures of the texts and actual photos from her phone. And she's going out at 1 a.m. after she just met this guy. His name's Ronald, and banging him in the street in his car. So we're like, I don't know if I believe that. So the judge goes, do you have anything to say? And she goes, I go to the gym in the middle of the night. I'm not I'm not dating. No, she didn't say I'm not dating. She skipped over denying that at all. She goes, Judge, I go to the gym because it's very stressful to have 4 kids and I get overwhelmed. And the judge, so she doesn't.
So there's two things she missed right there.
She didn't defend banging guys she never knew in the street and 15 of them. And wait, so you do leave your children alone? And the judge goes
at
like
1
this.
in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Judge goes like this. She looks at the computer screen and she goes, ma'am, your children are 6, 5, 4, and 3 years old.
Oh my God.
She said, what? The girl goes, I didn't just meet him. He's not a cop. He's a security guard. And the judge goes, that's not my issue. My issue is that you're leaving a 3-year-old in the care of a 6-year-old. She goes, I have cameras in their bedroom. And she goes, a camera is not a babysitter. I mean, it was like mind boggling. And she has 4 who are going to go out into the world. If you don't want to hate the world, don't go to family court.
Do not sit in family court.
This episode, if you want to have a better life, is brought to you by AG1.
AG1, good. Yeah, there you go.
I love AG1. I had it this morning before we
you kind of
went.
cut back on your fruit. You have AG1 and you're getting all the nutrients you need from the fruit you don't eat now.
I am having peaches in the morning.
Good.
It's super awesome. But AG1, I've been having since they first requested that we take it for 30 days before we were allowed to promote it. And
love a company that does that.
I didn't sleep last night. I never fell asleep. And so
you made it through today, man.
We made it 2.5 hour drive there and then 3 hours and then 2.5 hours back. And then we got to leave at 4 a.m. to go on the road. AG1 is a game changer for me.
Yep.
It's how I am still sitting here somewhat lucid. Because fueling your body with whole foods is important and you can't always get them all. You have nutrient gaps in your diet, like we couldn't eat all the crap or take all the supplements
that you need,
that we would need to really, for our bodies to function optimally. And this just takes all the guesswork out of it and the work. You don't have to take all the pills. It's got probiotics. It's a green powder, probiotics, prebiotics, over 75 whole food source superfoods, adaptogens. It's got all the stuff that your body needs, especially for gut health.
It's also a green powder that doesn't have the flavor that the term green powder entails. It actually tastes good. I put a couple scoops in a glass of water, and it doesn't taste like what green powder does say. That is
amen to that. You can mix it in a smoothie and it doesn't change the taste of the smoothie. Or I just lately have gone back to putting it in water with the dropper of D3K2 right before my workout. But today I did it because being awake is my workout.
You needed to be up today.
The thing too is that if your gut isn't functioning well, then your body can't absorb all those nutrients and stuff that your diet is. Like, let's say you are eating good stuff, you can't absorb all of that, and so you want your gut health to. And
the guy that invented it didn't invent it for a product; he invented it for himself because he was having gut problems. And here's what it does, guys. I have a sense of well-being when I take it. About an hour after it, I don't have that weird hollow feeling. It does fill in the gaps that you're not getting every day. But also, what I really like about it is that when your gut hurts, there's a couple things, like you can hurt your arm, you can get through the day.
Yeah.
You can have a bruise, you can get through the day. Your gut hurts.
Yeah.
You're done, man.
Donezo.
And this helps so
he
much. He
saw
with that.
me go through that for
my
years.
gosh.
It was awful. So they actually did a research study, and AG1 was shown to double the amount of healthy bacteria in your gut. So if there's one product that I trust to support my whole body health, it's AG1. That's why we've been taking it so long. I think I've now been on AG1 for 2 years.
More than that.
Gives me clarity, energy, better digestion, hair, my hair and my nails. It's like, anyway, it's easy and satisfying to start your journey with AG1. Try it and you will get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/Titus. That's drinkag1.com/Titus. Go check it out. Those travel packs are great because you can tear off the corner and they're flat and it pours right into a water bottle when you're on the road.
I want to say that, like, if I seen a little flippant in my Armageddon update today, it's because I am so beyond tired of this. We have talked about this ad nauseum for how many years now? Just since you've been here, almost every time there's a mess, we have a do an episode about it. Yep. And I just wanted to do an episode like to kind of point out. But here's the funny thing about that. So the people that want to keep guns going, they want to keep it all like status quo, mass shootings constantly, no regulations, no permit carry, no permit concealed carry, no permit.
And sometimes some of them will reverse things.
They'll have the balls to go, I can't believe you're so flippant about it. Well, but you guys, where kids are dying.
I would say to you, don't get tired because that's what they want.
But I've decided to get mocky. I've decided to go the other way. I've been angry for a long time. I've decided to go, okay. Just be. I've decided to use humor.
Children are dying, right? So
no, mocking the people that want it to die. No, kids. Look, it's the worst thing. It's literally the fucking worst thing worldwide. Yes, it's the fucking it's like that. You people even want to continue to fight for it and not have the balls to sit down and go. You know what? I'll go through some tests. I'll sit down before I get my gun for a psychological evaluation. I'll show you guys where I lock it up. That's fucking it. That's all you got to do. Show me you're proficient with the weapon. Show me where you lock it up, and fucking sit down and talk to me for 30 minutes.
It's exhausting that we feel like we have to keep trying a different fucking angle every time. So like we're not heard. Like how often? When the fuck do we have to? Like what do we got to do now?
That's why I'm here. I'm like that's why I'm in this. I'm like, okay, fuck it then. And they go, yeah, well, cars kill people too, right? And you have to go through how many fucking hoops to get a insurance. Car? I just bought a new car. Do you know how much fucking shit I had to do just to get them to like, no, you can't leave yet. Why? Because you got 6 more fucking papers to sign. I need to see this. I need to see your insurance. I need gun insurance.
Yeah.
Try sneaking a car into your school classroom. Okay.
Hey, by the way, Timmy, he's 14. He ran over 14 kids. But so I don't mean I'm forgetting it. I mean, I'm too a little crazy about it. I'm like, okay, you guys want to talk? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I have good news.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good news or not, but it's interesting. Liz Cheney has announced publicly that she's voting for Kamala Harris, which I don't know if you know, but in the words of Joe Biden, that's a big effing deal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because she is the daughter of
Darth Vader,
Lord,
Darth Cheney.
And
yes, yeah.
Did I use that right?
Yeah, you said Sith Lord. You did. And we're okay. He's gonna hold off. He's very specific, very Dennis about it.
It's
you get a lot of leeway. It's okay.
Pretty.
Darth Vader would have been
works
closer.
Pretty
maybe.
Works. But
I don't know. I've seen his new comedy, and he was it in this one or was it? No, it was Carrying Monsters. Your joke about Darth Vader.
Darth Vader not being just had a weird childhood. He's not really. You see the bit where he's wearing a mask.
But the sighing.
He's not breathing hard. He's just sighing.
Yeah.
He just sounds.
So evil. maybe Darth Vader's not so bad after all.
Well, Dick Cheney, say what you will about Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney I think he's responsible for a lot of bad shit that happened.
Oh yeah.
But I also remember when Trump. He was one of the first big names in the Republican Party to come out against Trump about 2 years in. He's like, this guy, no way. And then his daughter. I mean, when Liz Cheney said it. I mean, the weird thing is, how do you get these people that's flat out, honestly, I don't agree with Dick Cheney, but he did stand for America and the Constitution. And he's done some.
Yeah, he had a thread of patriotism. Patriotism, I guess.
And Liz Cheney definitely did.
Yeah. Well, she definitely should.
Definitely. She more so than he does. And it's amazing how the maggots have just really. They ostracized him. Adam Kinzinger spoke at the DNC, and he was like, "I am not a Democrat."
Yeah.
And he was flat out like,
"But here's what I've learned about them."
Yeah. And one of the greatest things he said is that Democrats love this country as much as we do.
Yeah. There's a lot of Republicans. We should list them of who have now come out for Kamala and against Trump.
Yeah, it's amazing. The Arizona, the Phoenix mayor,
the union guy, the labor union guy,
auto workers union.
They're Democratic.
McCain. Was it?
McCain's
son.
Yeah.
That was pretty nuts.
His son.
He said, "I'm not independent anymore. I've decided that America's more important. He registered as a Democrat."
Yeah.
And it's weird because when you hear Kamala talk now, you're like, wait, you just said you're going to help small businesses. Basically, giving small tax breaks to small businesses now. What else did she say recently? There was something that was so pro. it was such a Republican talking point for years. Oh, I'm going to we're going to talk to cities and get them to regulate, make the regulations less hard on small businesses. And I'm like, you've taken the Republican
but
middle
we're flipping.
ground.
It's all kind of going.
But they're not getting rid of the social programs. I was going down, I was coming over and when I picked up your stuff and there's tents in the park now. And I was like, and these people that get online, they're like, California sucks, look at all the homeless. I'm like, well, California's beautiful and there are some places with homeless. There's some bad places. But when people call you liberal, I'm like, I don't want homeless people living in this park.
But also, can I tell you, because I work with the homeless, that a lot of that is because they come here to be homeless. Right.
Seattle.
Let me clarify. They often think that they're not going to remain homeless, but they come here chasing a dream. And so many people that I dealt with migrated here were already homeless, and this is a beautiful place to do it. The weather is moderate. We don't have a cold winter. I mean, we go to Seattle during the winter sometimes and see people that are homeless, and it's just like heartbreaking. But here, I mean,
you can sleep outside all year round.
And I would hear a lot of my ones that were mentally ill say, like, Jerry came here because he wanted to become famous, and he's not well. Yeah. So when people are like, oh, there's a lot of homeless in California. Well, yeah, but also we could use that on our tourism commercial. Even homeless people want to live here. I don't know. It's just more proof that California is awesome.
We need to have a pitch meeting on that commercial.
If you want to see us not talk about any of these social issues, Milwaukee Improv, one show only this Thursday, September 5th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6th through the 8th, Schaumburg Improv. I haven't been there in a long time. Then Wise Guys in West Jordan, Utah, Salt Lake. You know what it is. St. Louis City Winery coming up. Indy Helium coming up. Montana, Billings and Bozeman are coming up. So go to ChristopherTitus.com/tour. You can check out all this. There's a ton of news.
Can we talk about what we just ended up doing? We did.
Can I give it just a couple that I want to hit that have gone on sale? Fresno Tower Theater, Sacramento Crest Theater, Royal Oak in Detroit, Michigan. Oh,
That's
we
December,
just put Grand Rapids Wealthy Theater on sale. These are all like Boise Knitting Factory, Twin Falls Orpheum. These are all theaters that are on sale. So go check out the website.
The new show, we just did the Nashville City Winery in Nashville, and we did Huntsville, Alabama. And
oh gosh, Huntsville was so fun.
Huntsville was fun, wasn't it? By the way, this girl, you got to come see. Look, come see I have a new show. I'm 45 minutes into my new show. I'm going to break in another probably 15 this weekend. This girl is blowing the roof off. It's crazy.
Standing up, partial, not the whole audience.
Room. And got a partial standing ovation. And then I walked out and I went like this, and I pointed at her and went like this, and they all stood up. It's pretty awesome.
It was like not 2 people though. It was a large amount of people. He got the rest of them. He was like, "Get up, you lazy assholes."
Yeah, look,
she just worked her ass off.
Do you know what the commitment is to give a standing O?
That was another not sleep travel day.
And then we did Nashville and breaking in new stuff, guys. I'm breaking in a whole new show.
Nashville, they were great too.
And I got to tell you, thank you guys so much, because this is my 11th one. Carlin did 15 or 16. I'm at 11 now. I got a long way to go. But thank you guys for letting me do it. I have so much fun. This new stuff, the stuff about the DNA, dude. There was a point in Nashville. I was doing this bit about DNA and what I found out about my DNA. And there was a point where I couldn't go any further. They were the guy. This one guy was like doing this, and he was holding himself, and another lady had her hand and it was great. It was one of those moments where I was like, awesome. Oh, I do this for a living. Yeah. Yay. All right. And now it's time for Highlanders Fun Facts. Highlanders Fun Facts. It's Highlanders Fun Facts.
Yeah. On this day.
Oh,
this is fun. We're doing this.
We need a new song.
Well, it's a fun fact.
Yeah.
We'll rehearse it later.
On this day.
Donald Trump. This is on September 6th. 2019,
because this is our answer until the election, the next 65 days. This is our answer to were you better off than you were 4 years ago?
Yeah. So we're going to compare
Yes.
two administrations. Okay.
Yes,
so
we are.
Trump, 2 years into Trump's administration
yeah.
on this day, and 2 years into the Biden-Harris administration
On this day.
2 years in.
Go.
Okay. Trump unveils a doctored image of the map for
I love this
Hurricane
one.
Dorian.
This was our favorite with the Sharpie. That was
He falsely
surreal.
and listen, Photoshop was around then. I was around then using
He
Photoshop.
has a staff. They could have
They
printed
could
a
have
new
easily
one.
made a
They
fake
could have
one.
printed a new one.
This dumb motherfucker.
He's like, hold on, let me get it. It's going to see. It's going to Alabama now.
He falsely claimed that Hurricane Dorian was likely to hit Alabama, and it wasn't like a little thing. I mean, he made a fucking giant
It was like
extra
it was
bubble.
going across Florida. He's like way over here. Yeah.
Then he repeated the claim after the National Weather Service debunked it.
yes, he
Then
never
he-
let it
By
go.
the way, he's holding a National Weather Service thing that they printed out, and then he drew on it.
Guys,
and
if
they
you
said,
didn't see
"You
this,
just drew
go
that?"
They're like, that's
look
bullshit.
at the
And he
picture.
goes,
He literally does a big cartoony and then goes, here's the weather map. But we found out later it's because he gave money to one of the states that so he wanted to, because it was his buddy and he wanted to
Emergency
pretend
funding,
that they were in the path of the hurricane.
He basically, it was payola to Alabama.
Yes,
And-
exactly.
And guess what? That money never came back.
Speaking of Alabama, speaking of Huntsville. So the moral of the story is you're president of the United effing States. They will print you the map with the same looking lines.
Exactly.
Okay.
So go ahead. So, and then on Biden administration?
All right. Biden-Harris, 2 years in, same day,
Okay.
takes major steps to protect Arctic lands and wildlife in Alaska.
That's awesome.
Boy, the contrast is one is like wants to hurt the climate.
Wow.
Oh,
The
you
other
made
one-
me better off at the damn seals. The seals are better off. There's some caribou that are kicking some ass right now,
Wow.
while dipshit has a Sharpie.
He always
By
has
the way,
a
it's so
Sharpie.
clownish. How do you follow? It's so fucking clownish.
This even goes to how bad Trump fucked it up because he was selling he was leasing the land for the oil companies. So this was an attempt to reverse it. So following a passage of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, the Trump administration held an oil and gas lease sale in the Arctic Refuge's coastal plain on January 6th. Interesting.
Well, wait.
And issued 10-year leases on 9 tracts covering
So he opened
430,000
up
acres.
A national.
He had a fucking
park.
sheriff sale
He
at the fucking.
basically opened up a national park to let them drill oil. Yeah,
Yes.
let's fuck it all up.
Yep. Yeah.
And do you know now, currently, and here's the thing. So we go, yeah, but we don't have oil. Gas prices are high. No. Gas prices are high because oil companies made the most profits they've made in 40 years because they raised prices. The Biden administration, we're producing the most oil we've ever produced, and they still keep prices high. People forget this too. Trump cut a deal with Saudi in the middle, at the end of his administration, because of the pandemic, because gas prices, literally barrels of oil were upside down. They were giving it away.
Mm-hmm.
He cut a deal with Saudi to actually cut production by 2 million barrels. And it went till the April of Biden's first or second year. So Saudi cut all the oil production back. And that's why gas prices went up. Then when we matched their production, they just kept them there. It's like so fucked up.
God, it's so corrupt.
It could all get
damn.
it could all get tracked to him.
Come
Guys,
see us in Milwaukee and
Chicago, guys. She has to go. We've had a very, very long day. You need to get some sleep.
I haven't slept yet, but I have to pack and do everything else. That
Right,
we
we're leaving in
didn't
the
do
morning.
because
Guys,
we
thanks
were-
for listening. Thanks for watching. And thanks for coming to the shows. I got to tell you, you got to come see this girl. And my new stuff is getting better every night. And it's like, I've got a 2 standing ovations too, and it's new. She was so mad. She's very mad. Thanks for watching.
In the words of my nephew.
Yeah, for myself, lovely bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later.
Peace out.
Take a Bailey one.